I think there's a general message that the industry can be changed for the better. What action items should be taken to foster diversity and inclusion in construction?
Kevin, I don't want to get on my soapbox today, but you are going to insist that I do. There are a few things that can be done. The first thing that I tell people and companies about change is, one, being open to change and acknowledging that there are problems. And the problem fundamentally that people have when it comes to talking about diversity and why it makes them feel uncomfortable is a lot of times they don't resonate with it. Like, I've never experienced that, so therefore it doesn't exist. Or because I've never experienced that, I don't know what it feels like, so I don't know what all the fuss is about. And
Right.
so we all have privileges in life, but when you're talking about diversity and inclusion and you have the privilege of being a white male in a white male dominated industry, there are a lot of things that just go over your head because it's just not the norm. It's like,
Right.
Kevin, when is the last time that you have been the only person that looks like you at a business meeting or at a job site that you delivered equipment to? The only white male there, and you're like, oh, this is strange.
With the exception of being a great big bald guy.
Bald is in.
Yeah.
So keep count that. Bald is in.
No, I mean, it doesn't happen, of course.
Exactly. And so there are things that even if you are not, trying to be biased, it's just that it doesn't happen. And so it's not on your radar. And so what we've done the last couple of years is just kind of putting it out there and put it on people's radar that there are things that exist. I am a millennial and I have been called an extensive amount of racial slurs. I've been called more racial slurs than sexist slurs. I'll say that,
Wow.
And that's terrible. And for the fact that we are in the 2000s, I've only been in the industry 15 years and I've experienced a great deal of that. So just acknowledging that there is a disparity. And the second thing is being honest about the demographics, especially in America, is that the demographics have changed. And so the industry needs to represent all of the people in this country and in Canada about what it looks like. And unfortunately, we've been to our own demise by catering to one target group of people. Now we have a humongous labor shortage of only, over 1 million people here in the States. And the marketing still sucks. You're still seeing women, you're still seeing minorities that don't know that there is a space for them within the industry. Secondly, I would say that people, especially leaders and business owners, they need to talk to their employees. Why go outside and try to think of all these things? Why don't you go to the people who work for you? And even if it's an anonymous poll, to ask, what are we getting wrong? What can we do? What can we enhance? And are you feeling included? Because people need their jobs. They're not going to say, yeah, it's a little racist. It's a little sexist here. We could do better. They're not going to say that because no one wants to be fired. So creating a safe space to make an inclusive culture, workplace culture for everyone who is there, creating activities. One of the big things is everyone doesn't know how to ski shoot, and that's not a thing. Everyone doesn't play golf. And so making activities that are just not catering to a certain demographic and making them inclusive. Something as small as that builds camaraderie, builds employer satisfaction. And thirdly, is to just do it. Even if it's wrong, even if you don't get it right, just try. Try and see what will work and go from there. Companies are so afraid of the optics of getting it wrong that they just refuse to do anything. Versus just saying, hey, well, that didn't work. Let's just go and try something else. But if you're talking to your employees, or even if you're hiring a consultant to come in and help you navigate the situation, you really wouldn't have to worry about getting it wrong because they know,
Totally.
They work with your company, they work for your company, they understand the nuances and demographics. And, if they can come to you or someone else to say, hey, these are the things we can improve upon.
Kind of sounds like starting a business. The whole discussion of just get started, get your first customer, just get started, try harder, do better. I love it. I also love the anonymous survey that you're talking about in the middle there. It seems so obvious. talk to your team.
Yeah, I think
how can we do better? Like, yeah.
Because when we are leaders and as business owners, we have a little bit of an ego. And so we think that everything we do is the best decision for the company, or even if everyone's not happy, the majority of you are going to love this and appreciate it. And one day you'll see why I did it this way. And so we don't always, make the right decisions. But if we want to keep the best people, if we want to create a safe space for our employees, we have to kind of do things differently and listen to the people who work for us and work with us, because they see things that we don't see. I mean, some of the best ideas, even when it comes to doing the work itself on the job, we kind of have an open policy of, if you think that we can get this done a better way, a quicker way, a more efficient way, say something. Don't,
right.
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But let us know. If you come up with an idea like, hey, why don't we do it this way? If it makes sense, we're going to roll with it.
Right.
Take the ego
At Dozier,
out of
we
it.
try and put our, we try and tell people that it's, almost more of an expectation. Not only is it a safe place to put up your hand, but hey, we're doing something different than, has ever been done before. We're hiring really, really bright people. We expect you to put up your hand. That's why you're here. You're part of the team.
Exactly. Please share your ingenuity so we can get this done.